Hey everyone, Egman here with another video. Today I'm going to talk about some of the pretty much just Victory Strike and how it can be potentially reprinted in this anniversary box that is coming out this summer. My last video I talked about just that this was announced, and it has some reprints with alternative art, such as Sensu Bean, Flying Nimbus, Scientist Fu, and more. And so a lot of people are kind of considering what's this more. And first of all, just from my opinion, if it will be reprinted in this, I don't think it would be. These are alternate art reprints, so it's more of I think it's just kind of more staple cards. I wouldn't say it'd be something such as Victory Strike, which is more just like a kind of a win condition, really. Not and it is something that you can build a deck around, but it's not a staple card. So I think like Bean, Nimbus, and Fu kind of have this theme of just like things you can splash in a lot of different types of decks, which would be why an alternate art would be valuable in the first place. But I've been wrong before, so I'm not. It's non-0% chance for that. So, and it really got a lot of people talking about is it good to be reprinted? A lot of people have opinions if they do or do not, and my opinion is it boils down a lot to if you really own the card or not, and then also if you do own the card, what you had to go through to earn it. Right now, Son Goku, the Awakened Power, is at probably the highest it's been consistently, right around $400, which is crazy. But yeah, just a really good card, and it's and for people who don't know already, the reason why, a couple reasons. One, it's the secret rare from a themed booster, and this is before they changed the ratio for theme boosters. They don't really tell us the ratio for these cards, but in general, theme boosters are right now usually get a secret rare in every 3 to 4 boxes, and in this one it was the traditional 1 in 12, which is crazy. Crazy rare for this. So imagine if there were like 3 times more of these cards in circulation, it'd be way lower in price. But also the set itself was short printed. It was the first theme booster, which means that they didn't have as much. It was a single printing. They didn't expect to have more than one printing, so there's that. And then also, it's probably the best secret rare in the game. That's not saying a whole lot, just because in general secret rares aren't really good. They can be like alternate win conditions or something like that, but I've made a video before about why you can't really depend on secret rares in general to win your game, just because there's only one in your deck, and there's a chance that it's just stuck in your life the entire game, that you won't see it, right? Even if you can search your entire deck for it, there's already the 8 life that you have to like work through. And I've even played games where I simply won because their Victory Strike was their last card in their deck, right? Not very common, but it has some inconsistencies like that, which make it hard to commit your entire deck for it. But also 2 other reasons why it's kind of spiked in power right now or it's not power, but spiked in price, is there is a new Broly deck for it with the 3-drop Goku that is also like super crazy, like expensive, like. Let me see. Yeah, he's sitting at like $45 or $50. Also, like Hyper Evolution just like doubled in price for no reason, so that's fun as someone who like didn't buy it. So, but anyways, yeah, that's kind of why, especially since there's additionally the Dragon Ball Celebration events coming up, and with some really big prizes. So people kind of want to make the best decks, and if Broly, Victory Strike Broly is the best decks, then. There you go. But first I also wanted to just kind of go into kind of some stats. So to just see how many people actually owned Victory Strike and stuff like that. First I kind of did just like a rinky-dinky Discord poll. About 40 people, 37% own it and 62% don't. So about, a third of people do own it. And something else to keep in mind with these statistics are just because you own it doesn't mean you kind of want to own it, and conversely, if you don't own it, it doesn't mean that you do want to own it. Victory Strike can be just kind of really polarizing, and in a lot of ways. But not everyone wants to play this deck, and some people think it's janky, and in general think it's too expensive. There's that. But also, I looked at I did a rinky-dinky Facebook poll by just making a comment and having people react to it if they have it or not. And I found it more like 54% own or sorry, 45% own and 54% don't own. So like it's almost like a 4/9 don't, or 4/9 own and 5/9 don't own. So that's really cool. But also, if you extrapolate it to the population of the United States, what do you mean graph humor isn't funny? Okay, what about like a fake call? Is that funny? Yeah. Like I pretend to be off screen and talk to a fake person, then it just fades. But yeah, looking at this, it was actually a lot more than I thought it would be. I thought it would be kind of like a fourth, like 20 to 30% of people actually own Victory Strike. So I'm actually really surprised to see how many people actually do own it, and a lot of these people own multiple copies of them as well, which is really cool. And you know, they're worth a lot of money now. So if you have that extra copy, I don't be mad if you take my advice, but I think like selling it's probably pretty good right now, especially like if they do end up reprinting, the cost will just tank, and you know, you lose a lot of money in that way. But in general, though, that's kind of why I think a lot of people don't want this reprint, right? They spent so it's been fluctuating between 200 and or probably like 100 to $500, let's say that, fluctuating between those two prices for the last 6 months that this card's been out, and because of that, a lot of people spent that much money for it, right? People sold at that price because they knew people would buy it, and people don't want a reprint. If it's kind of like buying an iPhone, right? And then the new model just gets announced as soon as you buy the old model, right? And so it just feels really bad, right? And for anyone who owns these cards, there's literally no reason that they should be, like, in their mind, they get no benefit if the card's reprinted. And it's pretty much all, there's no gain. It's just all lost, just because they have this card, they, did something, either spent a lot of money or got lucky with the box to get this card, and then they just reprint it, a year later, right? Is that really fair? But on the flip side, it has been a year, right? And this can be a really polarizing card, right? And I wouldn't say it's a barrier of entry, because in general, I'd say that Victory Strike is a win more card, especially like if you look at like an example with the new Broly deck. Usually just using Height of Mastery is good enough for to just get your win condition, right? Just be able to tap 3 of your opponent's cards, and then have double or dual attack, triple strike, or triple attack, triple strike if you use your Broly effect. So that's really powerful. I think Victory Strike is just like an added bonus that you don't really need, but a lot of people still want to run this card just for the addition of just an alternate win condition, right? And that's really why I think this card should be played. But I feel like as an alternate win condition, this card is super pricey. And if you just look at like prices of the cards in general, Victory Strike is hands down the most expensive card. And right now, like, even look at how much these Tournament of Power boxes cost. $150 for a box, right? That's crazy. Like, and then there's like a 1 in 12 chance that you double your money, right? 11 people will lose those odds, right? And especially since who knows if it's been pulled out of that box yet. It could be a 0% chance you don't even know it. So there is that. And then also, yeah, and just in general, and then after that, like, the most expensive cards are like promos, right? Like judge promos, right? And it's not until you kind of get into SBRs, which are more just like cards that are supposed to be expensive, and other secret rares. But like the next common secret rare is Demigra, which is contention for the best secret rare right now, anyways. But it's it's $70 for it, which would get you 3 to not even 3. Like, what, quick math, 70 times 5 is 350, right? You can get 5 Demigras and still have, like, if you could play 4 Demigras, you can easily buy 4 of those before you could get a Victory Strike, which is just crazy. And I think it just in general represents kind of a trend in price that this game's not really used to. We've been having a couple of cards spike in price once again. Son Goku Path to Greatness is up there, and then I'm really upset that the the Super Saiyan 4 Goku is like that. Like this secret rare that just came out. What? Have they? What? $200. Wait, what? What? That doesn't seem right. Alright, back to my video. Yeah, like, most of the expensive cards are just flashy, right? And if they are super expensive, you only need to get one. And like the most expensive, like non-flashy or like promos, like the Super Baby ones, only $20 SPR, like at all cost Vegeta is the next expensive card. Now, if you want to get a playset, it's $80 for them, but it's a really good card, right? Everything else you can get like just the common version or the non-SPR version, and just in general keep cards cheap. Like this Broly, it was like $30 last week. Now it's only 20, and I think that's kind of what is keeping Dragon Ball a really cheap game. Is a lot of these cards aren't really expensive, and even the expensive cards are usually able to be put in a lot of decks. Whereas Victory Strike right now, it is a 450. I think the 300. Did they just sell during this video? I think someone just bought the $330. Yeah, looks like it during this video. Crazy, but yeah, it just represents kind of a price trend that I don't think this game is used to, and I don't think this should be in this game. It's super rare, and I think the price shows that, but I don't think it's a bad idea to get it reprinted in general. I don't think it's going to be coming out of this anniversary box, but additionally, having a card be expensive for a year, I think is kind of the trend for a lot of games. If a card is still relevant a year later after it's released, then people kind of need it. And in most games like these, like the viewer or the people playing this game grows exponentially. So if you have just a static amount of these cards around, and there's an exponential more amount of people next year, the cost and demand do not really meet. So yeah, this is just kind of me rambling about Victory Strike, and who else has a YouTube channel who does that? Like no one, right? But yeah, I think he does deserve a reprint. I don't think it's going to be from the anniversary box. If you're scared of that, I'd think selling it now is great. You can snipe it for $400, right? And chances are you bought your Victory Strike at like $150 or $200, right? You just doubled your money for just buying a card that you probably even used, right? Like it's super rare in card games for cards to gain value like this, like double in price, just because it's been out for so long. That's super rare. So yeah, that's it. Let me know what you guys think below. I think it's approaching a point where if people wanted Victory Strike, they'd have it already, and I don't think they aren't getting any like direct support besides like the 3-drop Goku. Like that card's gonna be rough for a lot of people's wallets. But yeah, I think I'm done, and thank you guys so much for watching. Also, I don't have a Patreon, so let me just list all the names, all the people who reacted to my posts. So Brad Brown, John Bradley, Daniel Morales, Marcus Kentarki, Joshua Mees, Hunter Silva, Joshua Green, Alberto Escalera, Nicholas Rivera, Luke Robb, Nick Adam, Arun Sharma, Tyler Ashlock, Zach Anderson, Salvador G. Rosas, Brandon Delgado, Josh Gabriel, Trevor Fox Cruz, Jack Henderson, Max Salzas, and Andy Rizzo, Maximilian Fay, George Jared Sosa, Justin Silveira, Nick Cooley, Nicholas Cifuentes, Alex Grant, Aiden Azar, Francisco Rose Escalera, Brandon Pimentel, Andrew Monet, David Velcrez, Ricky Cox, Jake Wheeler, Michael Laviolet, Chad Papanio, Felipe Soares, Luis Sol Portilla, David Whitehurst, Mark Scott, Mark Safranca, Danny Jasso, Sergio Tavenet, James Buckles, Johnny Froon, Mike Larson, Danny Leva, Bradley Brown II, Joe Shimola, Andre Melton, Jordan Hoffarth, Greg Bazinet, Mike Briggs, Caleb Kinninson, Christopher Ruse, Jordan Kelly, Richard Figard, Philippe Guezo, Suarzek, Sam Cohen, Cesar Adele Escavilla, John Girldall, Gino Kozar, Elba Peraza, Henry Silva, Joel Formenti, Brant Flowers, Sean McVicker, Joe Rogers, Adam Weisscarfer, John Weedle, Daniel Luce, Thomas Holland, Sean Briggs, Joshua Bonorino, Ben McPherson, Gilberto Pina, Vincent Marchina, Edgar McNeil, Sandy Carter, Brian Spurlock, Alex Lodgen, Ryan Carper, Justin Chisholm, Joshua Cruz, Christopher Borges, Michael Yang, Kevin Kuneith, Michael Randolph, Lance Gerard, Josh Bradley, Nick Wolfmart, Brian Imhoff, Joshua Johnson, Travis Eckert, Peter Kinsley, Paul De Ella, Sri Anana, Danny Collins, Jesse Kurter, Brian Black. Those are all the people who do own Victory Strike, and then the people who don't have it are Dante Torres, Joey Palladino, Brandon Scott, Tristan Kelly, Joshua Limon, Brian Reed, Spencer Bryant, Sterling Drantes, Brian Brown, Austin Burton, James Thomas, Stephanie Neiman, Kevin D. Angel, Anthony Barrett, J. Joe Starr, Felipe Mella, Jacob Hayes, Nathan Martin, Abnel Robles, Jesse Steele, Stephen Avlar, Travis McPherson, Luis Fuentes, Matthew Navy, Matthew Kelly, Rusty King, Justin Tynes, Conrad Remquist, Gerard Dunn, Gregory Hornbeck, Jose Rodriguez, Cameron McGoldrick, Mark Verlita, Joshua Sanchez, Troy Keene, Kyle Ferdinand, Dakota Teal, Daniel Quivito, Liam Luden, Kenny Yans, Saib Esks, Tyler Hodgson, Dan Goulier, David Solomon II, Hunter Bruner, Brian Hamilton, Tanner Steffen, Runar Irvine, Jared Neagle, John Clemens, Sam Ackerman, Gilberto Corna, Joshua Bermudez, Brandon Abakar, Donald Campbell, Roger Nerevitz, Alfredo Lopez, Jean Sebastian Tetzerel, Mark Pacina, Kika, Chan Man Kiggins, Ambrosio Evans, Brian Odom, Austin Connor, Gerardo Flores, Zachary Rapaldo, Dylan Kaufman, Ezra Grassi, David Alcala, Johnny Teo, Juan Torres, Clifton Taylor, Ty Collins, Dylan Montana, Nick Tuffer, Theodoraptolis, Roman Espinoza, Daniel Owens, Carl Freeman, Julian Perez, Zamir Suze, Logan Thornton, Ty Bearer, Benji Williams, Danny Skitoga, Danny Siakota, Jose Romero, Robert Droste, Shannon Harvey, Kevin Awesome Possum Johnson, Scott Stoll, Richie Hodson, Tommy Lee, Chester Dean, Christopher Robbins, Cade Brandon, Richard Garcia, Tamaki Akiras, Sean Smith, Adrian Thomas, Tyler Maggar, Rico Shugman, Brian Roop, Bill Milazzo, Zane Lassiter, Michael James, Max Acuna, Scott Slater Jr., Will Cook, Aaron Barton, Kellison Carlin, Sacha Lightfoot, Dan Vang, Steve Craig Rankin II, Ryan Canoli, Jack Weaver, Conrad Yurd, Christopher Leeper, Joe Tosca, Mark Garcia, Daniel Dunkel, Christopher Ariel Torres, Jamie Lopez, Jason Reynolds, and Joel Vugenstein. And then also we had Ray Johnson, Mike Stroganoff, and Joseph Albano put the laugh react for a reason, and then John Cano for the surprise react. So that's everyone. I told one person that I'd do it, and so I did it for everyone. I don't remember even who I did it for. Let's see. I'll name you twice. Luke Robb, this was for you, and 200 other people. So if you're still watching this, congratulations to you. You get nothing.